I'm Santiago Albert, Director of Master and Postgraduate Programs. We will see you on Friday in the general welcome, okay? And then, what's the reason why we have developed this program? We have developed this program because, as you know, in Spain, you should know that in Spain there are two kinds of programs, of master programs, both accredited by universities, but there are two tracks. One is the professional track and the other is the doctorate or the academy track, okay? The masters are not valid for the two tracks. The professional masters are accredited by university but do not drive to doctorates. And what they call university masters, those are focused on research and they drive to doctorate programs. Okay, most of ELISABA programs, not to say all, because there is just one university master, are professional masters. But this is a complement, and it's called postgraduate, but this is postgraduate in the Portuguese academic system, university system, which is the equivalent of a master in Spain. Okay? Then this is something that overlaps and gives you 60 official credits to fulfill the requirements to go for a doctorate. Okay? So this is not only giving you additional skills in something which is a complement of your education here, but it's also giving you accreditation for going to a doctorate. It's not assuring you will get a doctorate, because this depends on what you want to do and where you want to apply and so, but it's giving you the conditions, the basic technical conditions to go. And what's the way? A postgraduate in Portuguese system means 60 credits, and a master means 120. The Spanish system is a 4 years bachelor and a 1 year master. So that means 240 and 60. In Portugal, it's 300 and 100, 180 and 120. So it's quite different. Then this program is not accredited by University Pompeu Fabra, but through ISEC Lisboa. Okay? And this is equivalent, it's not a problem, everything is official, and both Pompeu Fabra and ISEC can live at the same time. And Rafa is the director of the program. Rafa is the director of TIGRAPH Research Group of ISEC Lisboa, and as well as member of the board of ISEC Lisboa. Miguel is one of the most important tutors of the program as well, and they are here just to widen my explanations, because I don't know I don't know details about the program. I know the general idea, and in fact we have developed this idea together with Rafa to have the format we have today. Well, this is a serious program. I mean, it's not something to get 60 official credits. It's something to give you communication skills in a scientific way. So you have to work. You don't have to work the double, because a significant part of this postgraduate is convalidated with a part of your studies in the master. So, in fact, you will have to do additionally this about 24 credits, which is the real postgraduate, the real part of the postgraduate which is not convalidated. And this is basically your work in the memory or in the paper you are going to develop, linked to the master project you will choose. This is something that is going to happen on the way, because you don't have a master project today, but you will have it within a month, and at the same time we will start the mentioning research through general explanations about the skills and about how to communicate, how to develop a paper, and the conditions of the references of some knowledge, and how to do the research for doing the paper, and so and so. So it's this is going to be to run in parallel. Okay, and basically you have to develop this paper. So the time you are going to dedicate to the program is your effort, your personal effort in this plus of the memory or paper. And this is not going to be available, but it requires an extra effort on your side. Let's talk about the price of the program. The price of the program is basically the cost of the program. It's the cost for us, it's the price for you. I mean, ISEC Lisboa, to run this program, the cost of the program itself is 1,950 euros. This is what we charge you. I mean, Elisaba is not having an extra dime on this. It is not our interest to earn money with this program. Our interest is to give you an added value. And that's the reason why we squeeze a lot to ISEC Lisboa to get something affordable, because it's in addition to your master. And I think value for you is our main target. Then the price is exactly, it's not discount available, this is the cost, exactly the cost. Okay. I want to insist on this, because this is just showing our idea of you come here for a master, and any added value is something we have to give you as an extra, okay? And we are not going to earn money with this. It's the same thing that happens with the pills. I think you receive some list of small pills of knowledge about AutoCAD or other things. The cost is 65 euros for a 6 days program. This is just the cost. But as we have detected that you want, or you ask us for this, we have developed also as well this other program, or these other small pills, because it's useful for you, and if this is something that we can offer you in addition, we'll do it. So this is our spirit. Okay, this will start the 28th of October with a main first session. And the language, there are 3 official languages for this program: Spanish, English, and Portuguese. So you can run the program in one of these 3 languages. It doesn't matter. If there is a general meeting and most of the people doesn't understand, or some people doesn't understand Spanish, we will run it in English, as we are doing today. And but your work has to be done in the language in which you feel more comfortable, because we are talking about scientific communication, so you have to express yourself in the best way possible. So we have these 3 languages. You can choose the one in which you feel better. Okay, French is not possible. I don't know if it's French or. Okay, great. Okay, so this is basically what's this program about. And we don't see this program as a massive program. We feel comfortable with 20 students. You are today, I think, 12, and yesterday you were 12 as well. And if we have 20 students and we already have 12 already enrolled in the program, this will be great for us. Because we don't plan this as a massive thing, we plan this as an added value, and if you want to do it, this is great. But it's individual. No matter if there is 1 student or 20 or 30, this is going to run as well with no problems. I mean, we don't need a minimum number of students to start. Okay, I don't know, I think it's your turn to start explaining a little bit more in depth the program. Do you have any doubt, something you want to ask me? No? Is everything clear? Yeah? You will get 60, yes, you will get 60 official credits. And this is an official postgraduate in the Portuguese system, which is European Superior Space of Education. Okay, so it's totally official. This is your question? Yes, that's it. So This is a postgraduate, but the equivalent of the credits you will get is 60. No, no, they don't sum up. No, no. Yeah, well, this is because in the Spanish system, there are these two pathways and they don't melt. No, 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 it's all over the world. If you got your 240 credits and you sum up the 60, you had it. Yeah, yeah, I know this is kind of confusing, yeah. Yeah, sure. It's your choice. It's one of the three languages: Spanish, English, and Portuguese. And on the university. It depends on the university. Some of those masters of our masters drives to a doctorate, and in some universities, because yes, they see the curriculum and they say, okay, this is valid. It's accredited by Pompeu Fabra. In the Spanish system, it is not automatic at all, and in some other systems, it is not automatic as well. I mean, you have to see. You have to apply for it. You have to show the curriculum and ask in the university you want to apply for the doctorate. Yeah, we have students running doctorates in India or in Greece or in the United States with just a professional master. Okay, but this the difference is the way it is in Spain. You will ask us, and why the masters at Elisava are not official? Yeah, the masters in most of the design schools, in all the design schools, are not official. Why? Because the conditions to have an official master in Spain are very strict and requires 60% of teaching done by doctors. And it is difficult to find good professionals and doctors at the same time in the world of design. So this is something that is in contradiction. Okay? Today is the way it is because there are no doctors in design. I mean, the first studies on design in Spain, official studies in design, bachelor, started in 2009, I'm sorry. I mean, it's very recent. I mean, there's no time enough to have good professionals and doctor at the same time. So this, for us, it is the most important is to let you share the knowledge of the people who is doing very well in their business, in their specialty. I mean, the best graphic designers are not doctors, are graphic designers, award winners. But that's the key thing, okay? So this is the status of the world of design, and that's the reason why all the schools of design in Barcelona and in Spain are betting for professional masters. But this is a pathway that helps to obtain both. And the reason why we overlap it is because those who come here to Spain, a different country, for 1 year, can do both things in the same year. And you do not have to extend 1 extra year to get the 60 official credits. Uh-huh. Not necessarily, depends on the kind of a scholarship. A lot of people comes here with a scholarship on their countries. I don't know. No, I don't know, I'm sorry. But I understand yeah, this is Portuguese system. I don't know if you can ask for a scholarship to study something in the Portuguese system. I don't know if you are familiar with this. Becas. I don't know, but I will try to guess. Just let's talk about your case in particular. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah, no. This is a significant part of this program is a convalidation of what you have, what you do in your master. Okay, and then that means in the final qualifications, a part is going to convalidated credits, and the other part is the subjects and the memory. Okay? Yeah, no, this is just mechanics about the program. It is not. This was just to show you you don't have to work double. You have to work in addition. But this will require an extra effort on your side, for sure. No matter, Rafa will tell you, no, you don't have to work more, and that's not true. That's not true, because they are very demanding. You will see that they are very demanding, and they don't feel satisfied with simple work. They will push you to do something really outstanding, and you have to follow what they will tell you. It's going to be, it's not going to be tough, but you need to do an extra effort, for sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay, so it's your turn. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you can do it, but then the price changes. And this is just requirements of ISEC Portugal, because it requires an extra follow-up. And this extra follow-up, the cost is 1,000 euros higher, okay? If you do both at the same time, it's 1,950. If you do one after the other, it's 2,950. And this is, again, purely the cost. No, it's the price. I mean, it changes if you do one after the other, because one after the other, if you do both at the same time, there is a tutoring, a part of the tutoring, a mentoring, which is done by the master director, and the other part through the program. If you do it one after the other, then you need an extra tutoring that is on the program. Yeah, yes, but you will get this in the same way. The thing is, the convalidation is the same. It's not a problem. I mean, it's not about mechanics. It's about what the program needs for the follow-up if you don't run both at the same time. Mm-hmm. Hey, stop that. No. Okay, great. So I'll let you with them, and they will explain some details.
Si os parece, combinaremos hablando español, una de las lenguas oficiales, portugués e inglés. Cualquier pregunta, entre los dos, entre Jaime y yo, saldremos. Bien. La pregunta principal que creo que estáis en mente pensando es qué es lo que tenéis que hacer en el Mentoring Research. Aquí se coloca, lo intentamos colocar lo más claro posible. En el programa de máster que vais a realizar, vais a generar contenidos. Vais a hacer una exploración basada en un proyecto en diseño. Y por lo tanto, se generarán contenidos. Y dependiendo la característica del máster, acabaréis haciendo una propuesta de un proyecto en diseño, de unos prototipos, de una propuesta. ¿Estamos de acuerdo? Bien, en el Mentoring Research...
Vamos a hacerlo poco a poco. It was clear that the work you're going to do in Mentoring Research is related with the work you're going to do in your master program. You're going to develop a design in your master program, and related to that, you will do a scientific report of the work you're doing, you find some questions that are considered to have universal interest, so for science, for knowledge, for people on your field, depending on the program you are, the master you are doing, it would be in graphics, in whatever theme of design, and in this master, in this program mentioned in research, you will do this communication in a scientific way. You're going to learn how to find a good research question, how to have a method to answer that question, get references for those who have talked about this subject before, and this is an extra work you do. At the same time, you're doing your work in your master.
About scientific communication. Maybe serious communication should be made. I mean, if you bet for a
Bien. En las hojas que tenéis impresas veréis que hay una definición, porque nosotros como investigadores nos hemos definido en los términos para dejarlo completamente claro qué es lo que vais a hacer. Cuando hablamos de trabajo, un trabajo profesional es un encargo. Cuando hablamos de un proyecto en diseño, en el ámbito académico, es lo que realizáis en un máster. Acabáis haciendo una propuesta. Cuando habláis de investigación en el máster, estáis hablando de indagación, estáis hablando de exploración, pero no una investigación pura, sino que es una investigación aplicada. Y ahora, cuando hablamos hablar del Mentoring Research, estamos hablando de esto, de comunicación científica. Estamos hablando de un estudio predoctoral en el cual se basa en poder explicar aquello que hemos desarrollado en el proyecto en diseño y cómo eso se comunica científicamente a una comunidad, a una disciplina. Y no se utiliza, en diseño utilizamos normalmente un lenguaje retórico. Me gusta, es bonito, es atractivo, porque yo lo he diseñado. Cuando hablamos de ciencia, tenemos que hablar de datos, y datos lo más objetivos posibles, dando refuerzo a que ese argumento es sólido y, por lo tanto, este producto es consistente.
Yes, these definitions, you can find them in the paper you have there. We are interested in separating these concepts because, for you to understand, the professional job has a meaning, and the work you do in the master program, in the project of design, has other steps you follow, and the sort of investigation you do or the inquiry you do whenever you do a design can be like it's orientated to your design. So you stop whenever you have already the answer to produce your device, whatever it is. This thing in the way you investigate with a, let's say, scientific base is that you are able to find a real problem, so a problem that is of interest for all people that are interested in that field, a real way of answering that problem or trying to solve that problem or trying to have more light around this problem, and you can like advance a little bit the knowledge on that subject in particular. So these are the different ways of working and investigating. What you're going to do here is to get the skills to do this. It doesn't mean that you're going to have like a diploma that is going to say that you are almost a PhD. I don't like also to link this experience to necessary doctorate or a PhD program or whatever. I prefer to take this experience as an improvement of your skills in a professional way also. The thing is that professions are changing. The notion of profession is changing every day. We don't know today what professions of next year or in 2 years' time it's going to be. So we need to have these skills of research, not only as designers, but also as professionals. When you know how to communicate that scientifically, of course, you have a very important tool at hand that can help you in your professional work as a designer, or if you want to follow up doing truly academic research and become a PhD and teach at a university around the world. And I have to say that these credits you get here, these 60 credits, are ECTC credits, are European system credits. So it's official credits around the world. So you can, this 60 credits gives you the certificate of your skills around the world. It's not just in Spain or Europe or whatever.
Bueno, y hablamos de nuestra fórmula magistral. Quiero decir que nosotros esto lo podemos hacer porque durante bastantes años, yo en el ISABA llevo 30 años, me correspondo como los históricos del ISABA, y hemos desarrollado con el largo del tiempo una metodología, y esta metodología le denominamos teoría sobre el caos del creativo, porque ninguno mejor que en España conoce los creativos que aquí en el ISABA. Sabemos que los creativos somos una especie distinta, y cuando nos ponemos a investigar, pasar de la creatividad un poco a la rigidez y a la metodología científica crea problemas y crea tensiones y crea estados de nerviosismo, y nosotros en este caso con esta teoría lo que hemos desarrollado es un método para poder regular esa creatividad y convertirla en información, y esa información a través de lo que llamamos el lenguaje visual. Lenguaje visual, si somos diseñadores entendemos que son, yo hago aquí 3 gráficos y sin hablar inglés o hablar ningún idioma nos podemos entender, como somos capaces de entender las ideas en abstracto. Esta teoría lo que convierte es la información en abstracto, la convierte en una información relacional para poderla luego generar la comunicación. Y en la comunicación, y ahora dejo paso a Jaime que lo explicara un poco mejor, en la comunicación hay 4 vectores. Lo que pienso, lo que digo, lo que expreso y lo que escribo. Son 4 vectores. Si estos 4 vectores están así, están desalineados. Con nuestra teoría lo que hacemos es alinear. De manera que lo que pienso, lo que digo, lo que expreso y lo que escribo es lo mismo. Y por lo tanto, no supone ningún esfuerzo pasar de la creatividad, convertirla en información. Este es nuestro secreto. Y nuestro secreto desde hace 3 años funciona. Al principio era una locura, era un caos, era una locura, pero ahora los locos son los demás. Nosotros somos los...
Yes, this is the part of the presentation in which the version in Spanish and English are not exactly the same. I have to say that this program is Rafa, is Rafa's life. I mean, Rafa did exactly what you're going to do before you. He has been working for a long time, 30 years as a professional, as a professor here in Elizaba for 30 years in graphic design, and he decided at a certain point of his life he needed to get deeper into the knowledge of the things he was working with. This happens to a lot of professionals. And in other countries, they have ways of doing this. In Spain, it wasn't. There was not any way in which you could be a very good professional, wonderful designer, and at the same time, at an academic realm like the university, to do a serious research program that would lead you to a PhD. So he did this, let's say, journey on his own, and he opened that possibility, this strange possibility, in Spain, doing his research attached to an institute in Portugal, and he did that in the quickest way ever in Spain to get his PhD degree. He elaborated this theory, which has a kind of strange name, the theory of creative chaos, which means that you convert into graphics the problems you are dealing with while you are doing your research. It means you are working on your design problem, and you need to do some schemes of the things you are working with, concepts, problems, information, and there is this way of converting these problems each time of the development of this research into graphics. This is what Rafa calls the theory of creative chaos. And I like also to add to this theory of creative chaos something that comes from the experience of MIT in the United States. Donald Shong is the name of the guy who developed this reflexive professional thinking, reflection in action, and we have developed these workshops in which you learn to write scientifically by writing scientifically. And that sounds like, how is it going to be? Well, it's going to be writing. You're going to learn to write in a proper way, in an academic way, by writing here with the help of us. And you will see in the timetable, we have these sessions. I'm maybe going too quickly. I have to add that this is Rafa's experience. That it's like in the program, is in the basis of the program, and in my case, it's exactly the opposite story. I studied for 10 years at the University of Barcelona, ETSAP UPC. In a very prestigious doctoral program in architecture, in architectural design. And it took me 9 years and 1 year for the defense of the thesis. But of course it was because I wanted to do that in so many years, and because I was at the same time working as an architect, I was also teaching, and I was enjoying doing this doctoral program. So it's two different approaches to the same thing. What it's for sure, and that's why I am here personally, is that in professional training, you need to have this possibility of getting these research skills very quickly, very easy, very like going to the point, and afterwards if you want to become a PhD and write books and spend all your life in a university or in a full-time position, that's up to you. But to get the skills, it's quite quick. I wish I had this kind of training when I started a long time ago in PhD program. We have this, this is the timetable of the program. The program is organized in a way in which you never have submissions at the same time of mentioned research with your master. So it will happen that all the time when you have to submit something with us, you will be free. Like you already did your work at master, and you have more time afterwards to do the submissions with us. We have these 5 workshops in which we get together in person or online if coronavirus obliges us, but it doesn't matter. It's sessions that are going to be synchronic. We're going to be at the same time doing collaborative work in which each of you is going to explain this step of your investigation, what are the problems, what are the possible solutions, and you're going to get feedback from your peers, from your colleagues, and also from us. In these 5 sessions, you will have certain submissions here. Anyone needs in Spanish the explanation of the timetable? ¿Alguien necesita en español que le para explicar lo del calendario? No.
Último apunte. El centro de investigación TICRA. Desde hace 3 años. También seáis colaboradores del centro de investigación. Aquí tenemos los doctorandos.
Is the people before you who did the program before. Once you get into the program, it's not that you are being a student in another classroom. You become a researcher in this group of researchers, in which we all, I mean, in this, of course, it's not that in academic research, everybody is exactly the same at the same time. But we all are in a big problem when we are doing research. So we need to help everybody, and this is the spirit, that the collaborative spirit that it's always in research, in academic research, in true research. Once you get into the program, yes, that's exactly why I don't like to encourage too much you promising that it's a PhD in the future for you, all of you. These students that have done the PhD here after doing the mentioned research, they have been teaching here for years, for many, many years, and getting a lot of awards, and they are people very mature. So it's not that easy to do mentioned research and to jump into a PhD program. Of course, if you are interested, there are people who are so keen or eager to do this sort of path that they just even enter a doctorate program from just being a very clever writer or whatever. And there are some places around the world that would accept you only by presenting a very good project for research. But in this case, these people that have done this, and you can find their work here, their work, my work, Rafa's work, and all the students' previous work are accessible through the web, in which you are going to have access once you get into the program. The only thing we do is to talk with you. we do talk a lot. I mean, and we listened a lot. And the best thing of all this is that we do it most of the time, and when it gets to really important things, we do it by writing, so by email. So you think very well what you're going to say, and we think very well what you're saying, and try to answer the best way possible. And we discuss among us all the things you submit. And yes, this is exactly the climate we have in the program. credits is a certification that you already know what research is. So it's not that you're not going to knock at the door of a Harvard professor saying, I want to become a PhD. And I say, well, that's not, I thought it was a music band you had here. No, it's I mean, if you do these 60 credits, everybody, you will be able to prove that you are able to survive in a research environment. In a company, for example. So you have investigation departments in a lot of companies right now, and I'm sure it's going to be much more from now on. And I heard also they are hiring PhD people at companies because they need some skills they have. So the good thing about this program is that you get like the cream of a research issue, like this is the skills you need. And when you go through this, which is quite quick and quite practical in a way, this is the good part and this is the bad part also. You have to go straight away to the point. You cannot have a huge problem to solve. You're not going to solve the humanity problem in mentioned research. You're going to solve some interesting questions related to your design project in your master. And we're going to help you in finding that question as quick as possible, so you start working on this.
Accept, because this is fully official.
At the end, mention research doesn't have to do, it works with what you're doing at your master program, but this certificate is to you. It doesn't have to do anything, and it's not going to be the name of the master or whatever. It's going to say that these 60 credits, ECTC credits, that say you are trained in research, is with your name. It's not related to your program or whatever. Surprise.
Para justificar 60 euros y estamos ofreciendo un producto que es de alta calidad. Y como todo es transparente, primera idea se generó para se desarrollaron las metodologías han visto que funcionan. Ya lo primero son los profesores. Yo fui uno de los primeros que testé mi propia metodología. Que ya se ha pasado esa fase de estudio. Laboratorio de colores.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Lo podemos decir muy alto y muy claro, y duele. O sea que si alguno investiga y alguno se habla de la transferencia de conocimiento, pero aún no sabe. Una persona que entra ahora a estudiar
yes.
incluso ni en Springer.
Déjame que lo. No, déjame. See, no, it's not that complicated because I have advanced about Rafa's personal biography and how he went through this journey to get his PhD. He converted this experience into a research line, which is the one. Ponle donde está la línea de investigación. And this related to ISEC Lisboa because he did that in ISEC Lisboa. And this tends to prove that it's possible for very high skilled professionals and designers and people who teach at schools that have not PhD, they can get the, let's say, the improvement in their consideration, academic consideration, by doing this program or this very quick training to get the PhD. This is what have the only way in which in Spain and in continental Europe we have been trying to do something that in UK, for example, they did 10 years ago, which is to put design and design research at university level. In here in Europe is more complicated, much more bureaucracy. It's much more difficult to change the state of mind of people. And so if you are a full professor at the university, it's like you don't want to talk to anyone who is not on your level. And it doesn't matter, you are the best well-known cook in the world, like the one who is teaching here in Elizaba. And I mean, but these professors and this hierarchy and all these academic things in Europe is very, very stiff. This system is a research line in which you are going to enter when you are in mentioned research, and once you get to the group, you will be able to find these 140 previous works. And this is very important, what Rafa said. Once you do your investigation here, it's you that sign that investigation. It's yours. And you would say, well, but what can I produce that is so important, that it's recognized that it's mine? Well, you don't know. I was just saying yesterday here, there's a Chilean student that 2 years ago, he did work on a research on cook at the mountains of Chile without energy. And the government of Chile knew about this research, gave him an award for this research in Chile, and hired him, and he had to leave. And he couldn't even end up the program here. He had to send everything through the internet, because so it can happen that there are some of these, and I can tell you that in these 3 years, most of the works we end up reading and having at the end are very interesting and very promising. I am sure that in all these cases, these have opened windows for future development. And because once you do an investigation, a proper investigation, what you find out is how many other investigations are on the way. That you could, okay, I'm going to leave this for later on. I'm going to leave this for later on. And this is an aspect that in this discussion we discovered it was so interesting. And this is signed by you. You are the author. It's not that this belongs to Mention Research or to Hotel Isaba or to ISEC Lisboa or Pompeu Fabra. It's yours. So, and this happens to these 140 works that you can have access to. No, after 6 we charge double. Thank you, Albert. See you. Any final questions? Yes, this is how it goes. Once you are a member of the group, you have access to. And this is normal because once you have, this happens with this repository, but it happens also to a lot of, if you go to any university around the world and you ask for a doctoral thesis, you have to sign that you are reading that doctoral thesis. It has to be proof that you got access to that knowledge. So it's not like a totally free for everyone. It's not wiki research. So once you get into the and afterwards when you finish mention research, you keep on accessing the repository. But not before. Sorry. Mm-hmm. No problem. We have had students sending from all over the world. We have students that have gone back home or have traveled at the end of their, or towards the end of their research, and they have decided to change the subject because of the things they discover where they travel. So we have a lot of different cases. But always you can go back and send things. Most of the, we did most of the communication through internet, through email and, yes. Preguntaba una chica que any more questions? It's not true that Albert said that we can talk up for hours. No. Sorry. You know, there is a huge panic before starting a research, which is what I am going to say, or what it is what's going to be the answer or the question I'm going to pose here that's going to be so interesting. I don't know if I don't even know what I'm going to do at the master. This is the typical, the only thing we can tell you that this happens every year. It happens to everybody. And even in those extreme cases, that a student, for example, and I remember special cases saying that, well, I'm doing this master on that subject, but I don't even know what that subject is. Like a advertising director, creative director, master in creative director, and I don't know what a creative director is, and why do you enroll in this program if you, because my father is, and I found it, but I don't know what it's, well, that's a good start. This justifies the theory of creative chaos. It's like you don't have the slightest idea of what is going to be your program. And so that would be, I remember saying to this female student, you have reached the best point for your research. What is a creative director in advertising in Barcelona right now? Because it's only you that is going to have this question with all these students from around the world that are going to do this program, and you don't know. And so you're going to have this experience as the thing you're going to research. Like, what is the reaction, the answer, and how all these different students are going to fill that definition of what a creative director is. And it was one of the most interesting projects we had that year. Examples are Well, that's quite a surprise for me, because I thought always that you come here because a lot of people have told you, like, okay, go and mention research. It's very nice because you see with the workshops and so on, you're going to learn very quickly. So it's even more heroic from your part to be here, not knowing anything about the program, and not knowing it's so successful. But I can tell you, is the thing that Albert says, it's true, it's hard, but it's not hard because you will have to work your fingers to the bones. It's hard because it's difficult to live with true questions. And that's complicated. And it's like, okay, so it's better to have like a superficial answers for things and carry on. And once you start like going a little bit deep, that's uncomfortable. That makes you wake up in the morning thinking about the thing. But at the same time, it's like you get hooked to this feeling once you see how you progress, how you start seeing things in another way. Once you reached a point in which you got answers for things and questions open again in front of you, and you jump a little bit more, and again, more questions open. This is how it goes. Yes, sorry. We start on the 28th of October, and there's always this, sorry? To enroll. Well, that's the administrative thing that has to be with Albert. El último momento para inscribirse. Once you get your email about the procedure to enroll, you can ask them how this goes. Yes. Anyway, we start a little bit later than the real master program in which you start, and this we always get to be in that way, like not being at the same time asking you things and so on. Any more questions? So, welcome to the world of big questions.
Windows ou Porto.
Yes,
Es que este aún no es el definitivo al 100%.
this is not the final one.
Depende también del número de candidatos, posiblemente habrán dos grupos. Solamente
It can be two groups.
cambiaremos horarios o cambiaremos días.
It will be, but more or less, every year is the same. So it goes more or less the same, and you have.
Importante de que todas las sesiones duran 1 hora 45 minutos.
All the workshops are 1 hour 45 minutes exactly, and you will get a paper when you come here, and we have it like by minutes. All the activities we have here is very precise. Not 1 minute more and 1 minute less. So you have to be here on time for the sessions, and this is always. Afternoon, so when there is no other class in Elizaba. So we all classes, our workshops are at this slot in which you will never have other activity in Elizaba. On Wednesdays. Yes, yes. This is 2 semesters, and we have, in these 2 semesters, we have, like every month, we have one of these workshops. And between the workshops, as you could see, we have these partial submissions of some specific work we asked you to do, and you are adding and summing. Yes. Exactly. First session, I find it very exciting because what we do in the first session is all of you talk about this big problem you have that day, which is I don't have the slightest idea of what I'm going to do in mention research because I don't have the slightest idea of what I'm going to do in my master program. Oh, yes, but you, I'm sure you have, and so we start like doing like a psychological session in which at the end we have this blackboard full of all the ideas that I love this picture I take at the end of this session every year because it's amazing how many things were in nuce is the word in Latin. It's like tacit inside you. It's like you know, but you don't know that you know most of the time. It's called tacit knowledge. And part of our methodology is that we do believe in tacit knowledge. We do believe you know things you don't trust or you don't really know they are so important because you consider they are, well, you know, I thought this was a dream or this was an intuition I had or I wasn't clear in, and this is exactly what we come here to do, to get things clear every day as much as we can.
Solamente os doy un último apunte. Pensar que en la segunda edición del Mentoring Research habían 24 alumnos-alumnas, de los cuales habían 20 másters representados. O sea, simplemente es un dato suficientemente relevante para que veáis que lo que se genera en el Mentoring Research es un contenido transversal que puede ser aplicable a cualquier máster profesionalizador del ISABA.
In previous programs, we've had 20 different masters represented here, like as all the list you have in Elisaba, people for all. And the good thing is that, again, what we do here is that we get to do these groups in which you collaborate between you with our help. And so you get to discuss with your colleagues that are very young, clever people that are not on your subject, but they are able to understand if you talk to them clearly. The thing is that when we don't have clear our ideas, it's when we need a very intelligent person in front of us in order to help and collaborate in getting things clear. And this, the power of collaborative knowledge is amazing. And most of the credit is yours. I mean, it's the student. It's student working with peers and with a little help from outside, from us. It's magical. Well, let's don't make good the words of Albert that we can talk for hours. So see you. Thank you very much.